Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie Room. Today we are going to have a look at some spiderlings that we bred here in the Beastie Room earlier in the year, right at the beginning of the year I believe it was, and that is the Ephebopus murinus, the skeleton leg. Now you would have remembered we've had a bit of an up and down journey with them guys. We've managed to get sacks and then we've literally got them right near to the point of hatching, and then the female would eat them. We had a sack that just got thrown out, and we've had a couple say eaten. So it's been a real upward struggle, and then we finally managed to get our female to look after a sack, and she kept it, and then it hatched inside the enclosure. So she'd actually had it a little longer than what I thought she'd had it. She's managed to keep it secret, keep it quiet. Now we then saw the baby spiderlings in the mouth of the burrow. Now if you remember, when they build their burrows they completely line it in silk. It's absolutely a really beautiful affair, lovely looking thing. And when we looked in there we could see babies all over that cylindrical burrow of silk. There was quite a lot of them. So we took the decision that we would leave them in there because they all seemed to be doing so well. We thought we'd leave them in there, get one more molt out of them, and then we'll catch them up. Well, that was a little bit of a mistake, and it's not one that we will make again. Now, when we've done other spiders, we've never encountered this before, but with these guys, honestly, it's like they are sort of set against us. We've been trying everything. Well, when we came to we saw one of the slings had molted, so we thought, right, now's the time. We opened it all up to find most of them had gone, they'd vanished. And the only thing we could think of was maybe the slings predated on each other, which we've not really had that with other species. But this is a first for us with this species, so we're not 100% sure. So all we ended up with was 9 baby slings out of what was possibly 60 or 70 plus. There was an awful lot of them in there to start with. And then there was nothing. Literally over a very short space of time they dwindled to nothing. So we took our 9 out and we've grown them on inside the sling pots, and it's now time to actually move them out of these and put them into something a little bit bigger. Now we have lost one along the way, but we've still got 8 of them, so we're really pleased with that. It's a good thing. And as we're on the subject of slings and losing slings, it's not unusual for slings to die off for no apparent reason. You know, they're a delicate thing. Regardless of the species, they can be really quite delicate. And also as well, the thing to remember is it's not always down to your husbandry that's caused the death of this sling. When a spider has a sac, there can be anything from 50 to 1,000 babies inside that sac. Not every single one of them is going to be an Olympic champion. You know, there's going to be some in there that are poor, are very weak, whatever. Now, when we get to rear them ourselves, even the weak ones stand a chance. But they can live for a couple of months, be going fine, and then all of a sudden they just keel over. And we don't really know why. And it's just possibly the fact that they are literally just weaker than their siblings, and it doesn't matter how much good care we give them, the chances are it's not going to make a great deal of difference. So don't always beat yourself up if you lose a sling. Doesn't necessarily mean you've done something wrong. It could just be that sling was never meant to be. And this is why in the wild they have such huge clutches, great clutches. So what we're doing now, we're going to upgrade these now because they just need a little bit more room. And you'll notice we're putting quite a bit of this is potting compost that we're using here, and we're putting quite a bit in these, and that's because these guys, even as adults, they burrow, and when they're babies they do like to burrow as well. Most slings, even your arboreal slings, will burrow when they're tiny.
Soil looks quite wet on this one.
It's not wet, no, it's damp. I mean, it's not, you can see there on my hands, it's, you know, if we squeeze it, it's not damp. You see how it's not sticking. It's just barely damp. It's not wet. What it does do is this particular potting compost is actually quite a dark one. It's got quite a rich peaty content to it, and it makes it look very, very dark. And I should imagine on the camera it almost looks black. Yeah.
It tricks me as well when I'm watering.
Yeah, you got to be on top of it, especially with your watering. Right. So there we go. I'm going to do that. That is all we need. And remember, with our slings, we're going to keep them reasonably simple. If I can have a piece of that moss, please, my dear. Send me the tray. Remember what multitasking does, guys. It can be dangerous. It can be dangerous. Right. And all we're going to do now is we are literally just going to take off just a tiny, tiny little piece. And this is for no other reason than really it's going to give our little sling an opportunity to dig down underneath it and disappear should it want to. And it also brightens up our little pot. So these guys are going to be here for quite some time. So we might as well give them a little bit extra. And also as well, what we can do now is once we've got these in like this, we can, when it comes to keeping these pots moist, what we can do is we can literally just a little bit of water on the moss, and this will give it enough. And they'll drink from this, so we don't have to worry about water bowls. We don't very often put a water bowl in with slings. It's not really necessary. They tend to get most of their fluid from the actual food. And when they're small like this, we feed them maggots a lot of the time. And the good thing with maggots is they are just full of juice. So they're getting everything they need. Now we've got our lids here. We've got our tubs. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the label off. And we're just going to replace that onto there. And this is so that when it's up on the shelf, we can see at a glance exactly what we've got. And it makes life so much easier when we're dealing with all these different species of spiders. Because even for us that have sort of been playing around with this for a long time, many years, we still can pick up a sling that hasn't been labelled and look at it, and we still can't be 100% sure of what it might be. So then we have the dilemma where we have to keep that sling going for the next 6 months to a year until it's big enough so we can actually identify what it is. Because many slings are just plain brown. They don't all give away any particular colour or patterning or anything. Some of them are just almost identical to one another. So it's very important that we label everybody. And what we do that, you'll notice here, we've gone over to using the masking tape on everything nowadays. And as you can see, you'll often see on my desk when we're doing the videos, I often have a piece of masking tape stuck to the desk. And this is so that I can just write down when I pair something or when I move something or whatever. And you'll see on all of these, they've all got masking tape labels where I literally just write down what the spider is, what it might be. And then I know at a glance exactly what we've got. And it makes life so simple.
And they peel off our tubs nice.
Yes, that's the added advantage, is we can actually peel them off the tub and they don't leave any sticky residue. It's just straightforward decorating masking tape. That is all it is, and it's the cheapest thing going as well, which is, as you guys know, we do like a cheap thing. So this stuff, I can get probably about 3 million labels out of this, and it costs about £2. So it's absolutely brilliant stuff. We love it. Right, so now what we're going to do, we're going to get our little guys out. Here he comes. Now these are one of the spiders that that actually do look different even when they're youngsters. And look at that. Isn't that a wonderful little spider? Notice he's got a big fat abdomen on him. You can just see the colours coming through there. You can see the skeleton legs on the front legs. You don't want to go in. No, in the pot. Here we go. As you can see there, he's got a really, really big fat abdomen. These guys were fed yesterday, and so he would have had a whole maggot, and you can see how well that maggot does. That has absolutely filled him completely. Wonderful. And we can just do him literally once a week. If he's still this fat next week, we might skip a week and let him go for another week before we feed him again. So again, it's another thing where we have to look at our spider, and depending on how our spider looks, that depends on how we're going to proceed. So we're going to close that one up. Let's get another one. I think this is going to be the easiest way around these, is we're just going to pull the whole thing out. This one's so webbed in, it don't want to come out. Look at that. As soon as you decide on a certain way to go, this one's staying put. Let's see if we can't get him out. Here he comes. Oh, he made a big jump for it. No, you see how fast they are. Incredibly quick. It might be quick, but look at that. In and out. You see that green?
He literally jumped then.
He did, didn't he?
Where did he go? Oh.
He jumped. He's
in his own pot.
He is. Right, I think what we're going to do, we're going to get this one in, and we're going to perhaps close the door on him. Did you see how he literally jumped then? There we go, he's in. Right. Let's see if we can find one that's a little bit more willing to participate in the video. Right. Here he comes. There we go. That one in. Now, I don't know if the camera's picking up these colours. You should be able to get him around there. But they've actually got really quite green on the abdomen there. And we can see a little bit in the legs. You just about see the skeleton markings in the front legs coming through. Quite difficult to see them. But they're all looking very, very healthy. Wonderful little spiders. Alright, let's get the lid on him. This might be a bit better. How's that? Right, let's have another one. Oh, this one's literally, this one looks a little smaller. Notice how quick they are. Marvellous, isn't it? They always want to go the other way. You see that? Very quick. Now this one's a tiny bit smaller. You can see the abdomen on this one. This one might have refused food. He is a little bit smaller, but he's still in really good health. That's a perfect size abdomen. The others were quite bloated.
Piggies.
They were. And with a fast spider like this, we've got to be careful that we don't trap his toes when we shut the lid. But as you can see, these guys are more than ready for a rehouse. This is a nice big one. Cool, this is a big one. Look at that one. How fast they are. Now this one actually looks like it's showing a little bit more. This is the perfect sling. Look at the size of the abdomen compared to the carapace. That is an absolutely perfect order. This is the sort of shape that you want to be aiming for with your slings. And you can just see there.
Sort the light out, please.
Is it? Or is it best? You can just see there on the top joints what you would sort of class as his knees. You can just see that skeleton marking now coming through on the legs. Very, very pretty spiders. Look at that abdomen, it's absolutely glowing. So what we would expect with these little guys is that once they've been in here 24 hours, they would have burrowed down, made a new home. And this is the perfect size for this size sling. And we could get another couple of molts out of these guys in these pots. No problem at all. And the reason we don't go too big is because you would remember that we want our spiders to be able to find their food without any trouble. So the less they have to work for their food, the better at this stage in life. So we're sort of like look at this one, he's stuck to the glass there, can you see him? Stuck to the plastic. It's quite a leggy one, this one. Oh, he's amazing how quick they are. Look at that abdomen. All right, see if we can get him in the pot. What we're going to do is we're just going to go that way. I was just looking at his pedipalps then, they looked huge. They still look huge. They look like they're almost like got massive big boxing gloves on.
He's a bit young to be having his boxing gloves, isn't he?
Well, he's gone. He's down here. Here he is.
Oh! Took very good care of them.
He's literally dived straight in my bag of peat.
Oh no.
He has.
No.
That's the best place for him, to be fair.
No.
Look. See him? There he is. That was the safest place for him to go. So what I'm going to do. No, don't put in the bag. Lost in there. Why did you do that? No, you pulled it enough. You know where he's gone, don't you? On the side.
We can't see him now.
We're going to leave him there. He's gone down the side of the bag. I don't know. Right. Let's see if we can find this one. Here he comes. Oh, that's a pretty one. Look at that. So anyhow, some are much more sedate than others. That is really cool. You go down there. And don't drop your feet off. That's very relaxed, that one, isn't it? There you go, straight away, burying itself under that bit of moss. So the moss is doing the job that it was intended for. That's good. Alright, one more to go. This one looks like quite a big one. Here he comes. Oh, almost fell in.
Can you help us see it?
There you go. It's amazing that colouring that's coming through.
See the skeleton a little bit more on this one.
Yeah, this one's really showing well. That is looking really, really small. Really cute, actually. That's nice. Oh, right. So that's all babies. And what I'm going to have to do now is empty this bag of peat, because he's actually gone down the very edge of the bag, and we don't want to lose him down there. So what we're going to do, we'll come back to him later. This here, this is a subadult male, and you can see now the colouring and what have you that these guys actually have. And you'll notice that for a fossorial spider, this one spends its whole time sat on top, and he's perfectly happy. I'll just fill up his water. Which way around do you want this? There we go. So you can see how striking those skeleton legs are. And you'll see now as well, also with it being a male, this is a subadult male, you see it's got quite a small abdomen. These guys look exactly the same as the females, but they are slightly smaller. It's got that tiny abdomen. Now, in regard to the females, they also have quite a small abdomen compared to other tarantulas. So many of our other tarantulas, the abdomen is probably half the size of the carapace again. With these guys, they're not so they do carry quite a small abdomen. Now, camera ladies requested we try and open this guy up a little bit. These can be quick and they can be defensive, but hopefully we can get him just to open up a little bit without having a fit. We're just going to touch him very, very gently. There we go. Now these aren't really what you would class as a beginner spider. They are quite defensive, and we do have to be careful with them. They're more than happy to look after themselves. Turn him around so you get a nice good look at him. But as you can see there, we didn't see any real aggression. We can manipulate him a little bit. That's it, open up, there you go. You see we get a really nice look at him now. Even there now, he's testing the brush, but he's not being aggressive towards it. Absolutely beautiful, look at that. Very, very pretty spider. Now we have got 2 females that are ready to pair. So once this guy gets and matures, which it won't be long now, probably his next molt, and he will become a mature male, and then he'll be ready to go. And our females are ready now, so it won't be very long. Now we did notice there was a little bit of movement underneath the webbing, which suggests that there is a dubia roach in there. There he is. There's our dubia roach. I would imagine, I guess, that's probably... He's not wanted that. I'll try and feed him. There you go. He's took him now.
You need to get your spinning tray back up.
Yeah. There we go. It's quite interesting, isn't it, that the that roach has been in there now. He's possibly been in there a week, and this spider hasn't bothered to take him. And yet now when we hand feed him, he literally comes over and takes it. He could do with getting a nice meal in him. But what a striking spider. Absolutely lovely. Right. Well, we shall close the lid on him, give him a bit of peace and quiet, let him have his meal. And then we will look forward to him maturing off, and then we'll hopefully we'll manage to get a bit of a pairing video, and we'll see how they get on. In the meantime, I'm going to dig this sling out of the bag. I'm glad he went in there and not anywhere else, because at least in there we can actually find him. It's not going to be that difficult. He's literally gone down the side, so yeah, we'll pick him up. Right. Well, I hope you like seeing our skeleton legs and seeing the update on them young slings. They've actually come a long way, and they're growing nice and steady, so that's a good thing. And we're going to hang on to all of those. Those we won't be letting any of those go. We'll be keeping those, and then they will be our future stock, and then we can add mature males from elsewhere as and when we need them. So it'd be a really good little project to follow through with. Right then. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spider. And I'll see you soon, guys.